The more I think about it, why would the Lions draft a corner at number 6?
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's good, everybody? Matt Dery with you. It's Locked On Lions on the Locked On Podcast Network. Today is Tuesday, April 18th and a Wednesday, April 19th. Thanks for checking us out. Your team every day. We bring you Detroit Lions football discussion Monday through Friday. We got the draft coming up a week from Thursday. Man, exciting time to be a Lions fan. Jared Goff spoke today. We're going to hear from him. Also, I got to get into this cornerback discussion because the more I think about it, the more I think it's absolutely ridiculous for the Lions at number 6. We'll get into that today right here on Locked On Lions. Thanks for checking us out wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, free. You can subscribe to the Locked On Lions YouTube channel. So watch us on the video side. Follow me on Twitter at Dery Speaks, at Locked On Lions, and also the Matt Dery Facebook fan page. Got to give a shout out to my stepson, AJ, whose birthday is today. Big 20 here on Tuesday, April the 18th. But we're going to have a Colton Pouncey from The Athletic scheduled to join us on Thursday, covers the Lions, was down there today for the Jared Goff press conference. We'll play that audio coming up. But I got to get into this. Our friends at FanDuel, we love FanDuel. I'm actually sitting here right now trying to find the FanDuel live read as I'm doing the show. Now, usually, I'm very prepared, as you know, for this podcast. Today, my FanDuel read, found it. I couldn't find it. Now it's here. It's been that kind of day here on a Tuesday. FanDuel, our friends at FanDuel.com, the official sports betting partner of Locked On Lions, the Locked On Network, the NFL, the NBA, have come out with their odds for whom the Detroit Lions would take at number 6. Vegas odds. The betting favorite for the Lions at number 6 is Devon Witherspoon at minus 110. I don't okay, yesterday I kind of touched on it, but I want to do this again. And my good friend and a P1 listener, Michael Spath, yes, that Michael Spath, Ann Arbor legend, texted me this morning saying, and I got to think about this for a second. Why would the Lions take a cornerback at number 6? Yesterday, Albert Breer and Monday Morning Quarterback, and Albert Breer is a fine national reporter, journalist, analyst, whatever. I read his stuff at SI.com. I see him all over the shows. He's on Dan Patrick all the time. I've heard him on the DA radio show. Heard Brian Kenny this morning on the DA show. It was awesome. But anyway, Albert Breer said yesterday in his column that now that the Lions have traded Jeffrey Okudah to the Falcons, it puts a need and a premium on them drafting a cornerback, and he could see Devon Witherspoon going to Detroit at number 6. The two betting favorites right now in Vegas from FanDuel, Devon Witherspoon at minus 110 and Christian Gonzalez at plus 350, another cornerback from Oregon. Again, I ask, why? Why would the Lions take a cornerback at number 6? That doesn't make any sense. And yesterday I kind of mentioned it, but I want to dive into this today. The Lions just signed Emmanuel Mosley, Cam Sutton, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They've got Will Harris. They've got Chase Lucas. They've got Jerry Jacobs. They've got Savion Smith. Not that Savion Smith is Savior Smith. They've got 7 serviceable cornerbacks already. If you drafted Devon Witherspoon, Vegas favorite, Christian Gonzalez, another betting favorite. I'll give you the rest of the betting favorites, the top 6 in a minute. Let's say you drafted Devon Witherspoon. Let's say the Lions love Devon Witherspoon from Illinois. Let's just say they do. When's he going to play? Where's he going to play? In this defense this season. Now, Lee McNeil was on the podium today. Jared Goff talked today. Taylor Decker. And they're all saying the same things. Man, we're going for it. We love it. Roster's better. Bullseye on our back. We're ready to win. Really win. Not just go 9-8. Really win. That's great. And it's true. The Lions have put themselves in a position entering year 3 of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. They are in very good shape. So wouldn't your draft pick at number 6 that you got via the Matthew Stafford trade be somebody that is going to help you this season. Unless, I'll do a caveat, unless it's a quarterback of the future. That I understand. Let's say the Lions are in love with Anthony Richardson. Let's just say their scouting department really likes AR-15. You will never have a chance again to be in the top 10 if you're trending high like the Lions are, and you're feeling like for the next few years, you're going to be drafting in the 20s because you're going to be winning. This is your last shot at a top 10 pick, top 6 pick. Maybe you take that quarterback for the future and stash him. Fine. If the Lions were to do that, I would not scream and holler. I wouldn't. But if it's not a quarterback, why would it be a corner? I heard Mike Valenti talk about this yesterday on the ticket. Are the Niners corners that good? Are the Chiefs corners that good? No. What the Niners have is a ferocious defensive line. What the Chiefs have are guys that can get to the quarterback and have done it for the last few years, like Frank Clark and others. All right? The corners that they put on the field are rookies or pretty good players. Like Emmanuel Mosley was a really solid piece. Jimmy Ward, all these guys were really solid pieces in San Francisco. But it's not like they're putting Lester Hayes out there or Dixon and Minifield, right? So the more I think about, and I get it, betting favorites, Vegas always knows, I get that. But Witherspoon and Gonzalez being the top 2 favorites to go number 6 to Detroit makes no sense to me. Number 1, you can get corners later. Number 2, you're chock full of them now. You just signed 3 of them in free agency. And you're bringing Jerry Jacobs, Will Harris, Smith, and Lucas back. Yes, you need to have corner depth. Yes, you can never have enough corners. But at number 6, I don't see it. And here's another thing. If Will Anderson and Tyree Wilson are gone by number 6, and you heard Adam Schefter's report yesterday on ESPN that Houston's trying to trade back, and if they don't, they might not even take a quarterback at number 2. They're not enamored with anybody but Bryce Young. But Bryce Young's going number 1. And Houston's interim coach last year, not interim coach, but he was the coach for a year, Lovie Smith, was so dumb to play to win in week 18 and go for 2 against the Colts that they missed out on the number 1 pick. Now it doesn't sound like they love Stroud, doesn't sound like they love Levis, and doesn't sound like they love Anthony Richardson. So if Will Anderson, let's say, goes number 2, let's say Tyree Wilson goes 3 or 5. If I'm the Detroit Lions at 6, I'm not taking a cornerback. I'm trading back. I'm doing what the draftnetwork.com's mock draft had yesterday that we read you. I'm calling Tennessee. I'm calling the Raiders. Anybody. Washington, you want a QB? Come on up and get it. Let's make a deal. Tennessee is already kind of soured, reportedly, allegedly, on Malik Willis. And they've got Ryan Tannehill, and who knows, he's year to year the way he plays. Call the Titans and get a future first-round pick at number 11. And get out of there. Don't draft Christian Gonzalez or Devon Witherspoon. Get out of there. Trade back. Accumulate more picks. You might still be able to get the guy you want at 11, let's say. Let's say the Lions love Kalijah Kancey. You can probably get him at 11. Let's say they want to take Jalen Carter. You might be able to get him at 11 too, the way he's falling in many mock drafts. I want to give you the rest of the top 6 and what Vegas thinks the Lions are going to do and what the betting odds look like. We will do that coming up next. But first, I got to tell you about FanDuel. Yes, here we are, folks. NFL draft, NBA playoffs, hockey playoffs started last night. No better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. That's because right now, FanDuel is giving new customers a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. Just go to FanDuel.com/lockedon and sign up today to claim your no-sweat first bet. Then you can wager on everything from the money line, point spreads, which team will be cutting down the nets, or the Stanley Cup. They'll be raising the Stanley Cup in June. Do all that at FanDuel. It's all on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Don't miss your shot at a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Just go to FanDuel.com/lockedon to sign up. Make every moment more. My My voice won't stop cracking with FanDuel. All right, so the rest of the top 6, according to FanDuel and their odds out in Vegas, again, Devon Witherspoon, Christian Gonzalez are the 2 betting favorites for the Lions to draft at number 6. Jalen Carter is plus 460. He is 3rd. Tyree Wilson plus 500 is 4th. Will Anderson plus 1,400 is 5th. And Anthony Richardson at plus 2,000 for the Lions to draft at number 6. That is just a crapshoot of players. That's a lot of different names right there. You got 2 corners, a D lineman, an edge rusher, 2 edge rushers, and Anderson and Wilson, and Anthony Richardson at plus 2,000. If I had to put a bet down, if I had to bet on one of those 6 guys, I'd probably put my money on Tyree Wilson. But now that Houston might not take a quarterback at number 2, Tyree Wilson could be gone. He could go 3 to Arizona. I think Will Anderson is still going to go ahead of him. You never know. You never know what these GMs want to do. I don't know what they're doing in Houston. I have no clue. Like yesterday, Nick Caserio, their general manager, came out and said, I feel like the guy from Wolf from Wall Street. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Show goes on. I have no clue what's happening down there. D'Amico Ryans, I think, will be a good head coach, but how could they not take a quarterback? And you know what? If it doesn't work out, you could take one next year too. It's not like let's say you take CJ Stroud at 2, and let's say that you play him and he's terrible. Why wouldn't you take another one the next year? It's not against the rules here. Now, I know you got to give guys time. You want to give guys time. But the Houston Texans are terrible. I would put money down on the Lions trading back unless they're so desperate for Will Anderson and Brad Holmes just loves him so much that they move up to 3 to get him. That I could also see. Maybe if Houston, what if Houston takes Tyree Wilson too? Would the Lions then, while the Cardinals are on the clock, move up to get Will Anderson? Because Will Anderson's not getting past Seattle at 5. I wouldn't think. Look, Brad Holmes has been aggressive. He was aggressive last year within the division, getting Jameson Williams. It just seems like they always have gotten their man. I said this yesterday. Penei Sewell, Brad Holmes was doing backflips. He was hugging everybody. He was grabbing Sheila and hugging her. Last year, they get Aiden Hutchinson. He went ballistic. Who's his guy? Dan Campbell said the other day on the Rich Eisen show that he's got man crushes on certain guys. Who does he have? Who does he have those man crushes on? I'm telling you, I think Kalijah Kancey fits Detroit big time. I don't know if they're going to take him at 6. It would be a little bit high, but couldn't you see that? Couldn't you see Kancey being that kind of guy, just high motor, underdog, in the trenches? One of these tight ends, too, is a Dan Campbell type. I don't know if it's Kincaid. I don't know if it's Mayer. It's one of these tight ends. It's got to be a Dan Campbell guy. It's got to be one of the man crush guys that Dan Campbell was talking about. Has to be. Man, this is going to be so great. A week from Thursday. 2 picks in the draft. Oh, I cannot wait. I'm so excited for draft nights, plural, Thursday and Friday. And also, of course, Saturday, too. Lions are the kings, man, in this town. They are just running it right now. Exciting. And I'm excited for Lions fans, too. You guys deserve this. You've waited for a fun team to have. How the Packers doing? How's that Aaron Rodgers trade going down with the Jets? Whew. Imagine being a Packer fan right now. You're like held hostage. You can't sign free agents. You have no idea what your quarterback's going to do. And the Jets, they're out there going, oh, we'll get him eventually. That's brutal. All right, coming up next, you're going to hear from Jared Goff, and I'm going to react. He was asked about a contract extension. Has he talked to the Lions about extending his deal? He's got this year and next year. We'll do that coming up next. All right, so the Lions quarterback, Jared Goff, fresh off a very, very good season. How would you describe it? A Pro Bowl season. He was a Pro Bowl alternate and ended up going to Vegas. Let me get this queued up here. Dude. Jared Goff today got on the podium at voluntary workouts down in Allen Park at 222 and was asked about his future in Detroit and would he want and would he want a contract extension? Has he talked to the Lions about it? Let's take a listen to Jared Goff. This audio courtesy of Brad Galley and Channel 7. Shout out to Brad Galley. Take a listen.
2 years left on your deal. Have you guys started talking about an extension
No,
at all with the Lions? Is that something you'd like to get done or talk about?
not up to me.
Last one there, Jalen Hurts.
Did he? I didn't see it.
How does that make you just think about your future?
Yeah, that's how the league goes. You know, guys get paid, and then 10 more guys will get paid, and then you're towards the bottom, and then hopefully it happens again, and things go like this, and hopefully I can play for a long time, and play in this league and win games and win championships and do all that stuff, and the money and the contracts all comes with that. But really just enjoying your time and being present and enjoying the people around you and your teammates is the most important thing. But all that will come, and congrats to Jalen. This is fun times.
Are you are you open to something here? I mean, it seems like in 2 years you've had a good time here, and obviously talks could progress this summer. How open are you?
Yeah, I mean, of course you'd be open. It hasn't been brought to my attention, but of course open to anything. And not up to me. I'm a player. I don't get to make those decisions. And if I did, I would have made that decision a long time ago to, give me and every one of my friends all the money in the world. But no, I just get to play, and if that comes about, it'd be great. But.
All right, so there was Jared Goff. Let me get back on camera here. There was Jared Goff saying it's not up to me, and it's up to the organization to decide on whether or not to, engage into talks. First of all, the Lions should not engage in contract talks with Jared Goff. Why? Now, at this time next year, they should, yes, and they need to if he plays very well again. Jared Goff has the same type of season in 2023 that he had in 2022. You should lock him up. You have to lock him up. Jared Goff has played really well this past season. 2021 for Jared Goff was up and down. He ended 21 very well. He and Ben Johnson have something going here. The offense was humming last year, especially at home. If he plays like he did in 2022 this season, you do not want him going into 2024 as a lame duck and on the last year of his deal. You should engage him in talks and lock him up long term. And maybe he's your guy. I understand Jared Goff is not Jalen Hurts. He doesn't run. All right, he doesn't have that dual threat. Jalen Hurts is also 24 years old and just got over $250 million. I think it was like, what, 195 or something guaranteed? Jared Goff makes about $30 million a year. But for quarterbacks in this league, that's a bargain. Daniel Jones just got $40 million. Jared Goff's better than Daniel Jones. He is. Jared Goff's been to a Super Bowl, albeit not here, but he has been. He's had some really, really good years. He's had some Pro Bowl years where he wasn't just some alternate, he was a Pro Bowler. But if you're the Lions, you're not sure what this year is going to look like. Will he regress, which he's done in his career? Will the offensive line not have the type of year that it had in 2023 that it had in 2022? And will Jared Goff start fumbling every game, which he was doing 2 years ago? Will there be games you walk away from this year going, he's not our guy for the future? Now, again, draft night, we're going to find out what the organization thinks of Jared Goff, because if they do not draft any quarterbacks again, either Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then we're going to find out. They're pretty much married to this guy. If they take somebody to be a developmental guy, if they take Hendon Hooker in the second round, all bets are off on what they're going to do with Goff down the road. But for right here, right now, his answer was perfect. Not up to me. They need to come to me. Jared Goff, I guess, could say to his agent, hey, could you call the Lions and see if I can get an extension? But the agent may say, hold on a second here. We're not extending you yet either. Maybe you hit the open market and make some big dollars. Let's find out if this organization really, really wants you. And there will be this game that will be played throughout this year. But after this season, when the dust settles, the Lions will make their decision. And it is, yes, up to them to come to the Lions, to come to Goff and his agent and see where this goes. But Goff said today, Brad Holmes and them have been and the front office and Dan Kimmel have been very transparent with him about the draft. So I wonder, did they sit him down and go, hey, look, we may take a developmental guy on day 3 because we need to add to that room, and Teddy Bridgewater may say no. So just bear with us, but you're our guy for the future. Campbell has even said that publicly. So it's interesting. But the Lions need to wait and see what happens this season. Let 2023 play out before they do anything with Jared Goff. All right, Colton Pouncey on Thursday, working on some other things. This has been a Tuesday edition of Locked On Lions. Your team every day.